So I got the Orlando Magic,
Okay.
and I think we all know what they need to improve on.
Point guard.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely point guard, and obviously just an overall boost to their offense. So that obviously means a true point guard, someone who can really get the offense going.
Yeah.
That means shooting. That means more playmakers, right? Specifically 3-point shooting. That's what they need. So
Yeah.
I mean, defensively they got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their stars, Franz and Paolo, they got that. They just need shooters. They just need players that can knock down shots
Yeah. I mean, the
and a guard to facilitate that.
good thing with Orlando is that they're not losing anybody big in free agency at all. They're all just hogging up the bench. No one notable. They could definitely move off some pieces. They have a lot of young pieces to trade for a Trae Young or LaMelo Ball. They could sign some three-point specialists. It's not hard. There'll be some in the rough in the free agency market. And they'll be ready to go. They just got to get that ball handler and then just run it and see how it works next year.
You know what I would do if I'm Orlando?
What?
I'm going to be considering, if I can't get any of those younger true point guards, I'm definitely going to be considering Chris Paul if he wants to play another season.
Well, you know,
or
no.
even Russell Westbrook if he wants to play
you-
another
you
season.
He's 1,000% opting out of that
You know
contract.
what? What I just saw today. I don't know if it was the Legion Hoops or Hoop Central, but Anthony Simons.
That was
Okay.
That was what I was going to bring up for.
Okay.
He
is-
works for all. You finish what you were going to say. Something.
He's high on the radar. He's an Orlando native,
Okay, perfect.
so he's from Orlando.
Nice.
I think Anthony's value's at an all-time high, and we know Portland could easily capitalize off their younger guys because
Right.
they have a crowded backcourt. Scoot's there, Shane Sharp's there.
Right.
Avdia is more of a small forward, but they could, if you want Scoot to be the guy, you can move off from Anthony, no problem.
Yeah.
Just trade him.
But the
That's
thing,
a good one.
Anthony provides more than just that because I keep forgetting the Magic actually do have a point guard in Jalen Suggs.
Right.
So if you could get Anthony Simons, the two of them are not necessarily true point guards, but one of them is going to take more of that on-ball role.
Which would be
Anthony Simons
Yeah.
because Jalen Suggs is going to guard the best guard player, right? Because let's say you're playing, I don't know, I don't want to say Boston because they're just a bad matchup for everyone. Let's say you're playing Cleveland, right? Or let's say you're playing the Knicks. Actually, let's say you're playing the Knicks because that's actually a realistic first round matchup for them. Anthony Simons could run the point. That way, Jalen Suggs doesn't have to do as much offensively, so we can
Right.
guard Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, that's a hell of a backcourt right there.
Exactly.
Because he has to stay because the Magic were able to keep their team afloat until he went down. So that was the difference, and that's where a point guard's really helpful. I like the Chris Paul thing, though. I think he absolutely should be considered by the front office. I think Jamal Mosley would really find some good minutes for him in developing Paolo and Franz and all these guys. He's going to get these guys paid.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what he does
Veteran
best.
leadership. They need it
Yeah,
some way or somehow. You know.
I think Paul more than Russ. Paul played all 82
Yeah,
games this
Paul
year.
would be more ideal
I
because
agree.
he's more of that floor general type of player. I think Russ can also play that role too, based on what we saw in Washington Wizards as well. But
Right, but I think Chris Paul's a better mentor.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you need.
Correct.
Because essentially you're going to throw Anthony Simons into the DeJounte Murray
right,
situation where he's not
Yeah.
really a point guard,
right,
but he's well and truly capable of playing the point guard.
Yeah.
And he'll,
Exactly.
trying to think of the right word to use, he'll sort of mold him into a good
Point guard.
sort of player, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what he's doing with Castle, because Castle's not really a point guard either.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
he's doing it.
That's why Minnesota's lucky. They drafted a true point guard and they have Mike Conley there, so it's like
Yeah.
it's not as much chess. It's pretty
They
straightforward.
know what they're doing.
Oh, they really do.
They do.
And as far as that goes, I mean, like, Orlando doesn't really have many other problems, I guess. I think really the other issue is Franz's outside shot.
Oh, he's gonna be working on that.
I hope
Yeah,
he does.
they'll-
It's the
they'll
one thing he's
improve.
missing because, like, him and Paulo can't perform well on the same night, and it just kind of frustrates me.
Yeah.
Because this team has so much potential.
Yeah.
So let's say they do trade for him. What lineup do you run out?
Trade for who?
Let's say they get Simons.
Simons. Okay.
What lineup are you running out?
Simons is the 1.
Yeah.
Suggs is the 2.
Yep.
The 3 will be Franz.
Mm-hmm.
4 is Paulo. 5 is Wendell Carter.
No. Mo Wagner.
No, Wendell Carter was the starting center.
I think Wendell Carter's
I would
a
throw
really
Mo
good player right
Wagner
now.
in there.
I think.
I think Mo Wagner is a great piece off the bench.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree. I
All
agree.
right, that's fine. I'm fine with Wendell.
Wendell, I think he's proved himself this series and in the last part of
first
the
game. All right.
second half of the NBA season. He's a good center. He's a decent center.
You know, he might have to be collateral in a trade. We never know.
He might.
Because that
Exactly.
trade's definitely involving Jet Howard.
Yeah.
Anthony Black, Cole Anthony.
No, Anthony Black you have to keep. Cole Anthony's definitely gone.
So I have both LA teams.
That's
So I'm gonna knock off the purple one. Let's go to the Lakers.
All right.
Similar to Gio, we know what the problem is.
They're small.
There you go, Gio. A plus,
Thank you.
A minus for saying thank you. So yeah,
A+.
I'm under their free agents. All of their big men will be off the books. Alex Len's a free agent. Jackson Hayes is a free agent. Clean slate. Of course, LeBron has his player option like he does every year because he wants to get more money for a single year. He'll probably opt in. DFS has a player option. He'll probably opt into that. We'll see. But yeah, listen, we know Mark Williams trade. We saw it happen. We're like, oh God, okay. Big guy coming in, completely falls through. Now you're going to have to go back to the drawing board, see what you can bring in on the trade market or free agency. I don't know who the free agent big men are this upcoming offseason. I could take a quick look.
Here, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, who are the free
while you go
agent?
through
Miles Turner, we know that.
Miles Turner's an option, obviously. You obviously can trade for a guy like Nick Claxton. Potentially, he's always been
Okay.
kind of hot off the presses of
I
the
will gladly
center market.
I will gladly give the Lakers Mitchell Robinson.
Brooke Lopez, Clint Capella,
Yes, Lopez
Nas
is a free
Reed, Steven Adams. That's really kind of
Steven
it.
Adams, yeah.
I expect Al Horford to stay in Boston.
Yeah.
And that's honestly kind of it. I mean, Kevon Looney, but he's also kind of small for a center.
Yeah.
So you're not really looking at many options. I think what they will do is probably, Dalton Connect hasn't seen the floor in God knows how long. So he's
Since the
definitely,
trade.
Yeah, so he's probably going to wind up getting traded along with really anyone can be traded. Like
Rui.
even Austin Reeves could wind up going in a trade based off the way he performed in the first round series.
True.
And same thing with Rui.
Yeah. Jay Vanderbilt as well.
Yeah.
Gabe Vincent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, they have players there to get rid
Might
of.
just throw Gabe in there as a gift.
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's the main problem with the Lakers. It's not necessarily that Luka essentially is trying to accelerate a timeline that wasn't going anywhere, and they don't
Yeah.
have the pieces for it.
Right. Don't.
I don't think this team can function with LeBron on the roster.
Ooh. I think that's a topic for another day.
Well,
That's
I
an
don't-
interesting
I don't
take.
know.
I like
Well,
it.
Luka-
I think I like that take.
Luka is the future after LeBron, so
Yeah.
you know we have to see what happens.
Okay.
That's kind of it. I want to
talk
see
about that one soon.
I want to see a reworked roster next year with all the guys on this roster besides LeBron, Luka, Reeves, maybe DFS. But I want to see like that core that like Vanderbilt. No, like
Yeah.
let's move on. Like
Yeah.
it's over. Like bring in new guys. You know.
Yeah. Stay tuned
that's
for what
kinda how it
Tyler
works.
said though, because I think that's going to be a good off-season,
Oh, it's definitely a hot topic.
segment.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Based on the way Bro played, like,
Yeah.
and just like the way, like, it's just hard because LeBron's eating up so much salary cap. It's like nuts. And the fact that Bronny takes up $8 million of it, crazy work. But
Insane.
what are your thoughts, Gio? You used to be a Laker fan.
Used to be.
Yeah, you were.
Nah, even when Russ was on there, the Lakers didn't appreciate him, so I never was a Laker fan.
Ah, fair.
But what do I think about the Lakers? I mean, I think I agree with what you said. I don't know if they're going to be a winning team in terms of like winning any sort of championship while LeBron's still there. I think LeBron has to go.
Okay.
Fair.
So
Right.
I'll keep it short.
Okay.
Keeping it short
Yeah.
and sweet. Did you have like a general idea of what like sort of lineup you would ideally want the Lakers to
Well,
run out next season?
I would think Luka, LeBron. I would keep Austin Reeves. The big men. I don't know. It's whoever they bring in. I don't know who they're targeting. That's the
Steven
thing.
Adams.
They want Steven Adams. They want Miles Turner. They want Nick
Yeah.
Claxton. They just
don't
want
know.
anyone that can catch lobs because that's Luka's
And
game.
get rebounds.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know.
I think that'd be awesome.
yeah.
I want to see Steven Adams on the Lakers.
I would be fine with that.
You need to see Steven Adams on the Nuggets
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
behind
Yeah.
Jokic as the backup
dude,
five.
that would be kind of crazy. Yeah, I would like that.
Then the non-Jokic minutes wouldn't be ass because guess what? They're still ass.
I mean, DeAndre Jordan's holding his own.
Oh no.
no, but like
not a guy
that's
who needs to
that's
go.
gonna get you at around one. But like against the Thunder, like Jalen Williams, like big Jalen Williams, he's gonna
Yeah.
destroy him in his minutes. And even if they somehow get through, Naz Reid or Kevon Looney or Draymond is going to obliterate him in those
stop
minutes.
it.
They will.
Not Draymond.
Yes.
Okay, maybe.
Draymond will. DeAndre Jordan is he's washed more than the damn waves, bro.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is.